All right. Welcome to, I guess, the first video episode, anything I'm putting on to a Build, Learn, Teach YouTube channel. I figured a good way to do this would be just the timing's perfect to kick it off with the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools application. Figured let's do a little mini series of how to win on the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Award. I have Tae here for this first episode. I'll let him do all his introductions and get into it and stuff here. But super excited about this on the YouTube side of things and social media. Obviously, everybody can always follow me on Build, Learn, Teach on Instagram, TikTok, and then if you connect with me at LinkedIn through my name, Matt Blomquist. So pumped to do this. And Tae, let's just start off by, I'm actually even wearing got the vest on.
It looks great. You pull it off better than I can for sure.
There we go. And it's like 90 today, so this is actually a little warm today. We're in LA weather now here in Central Illinois, but only for a day. We only get it for one day. But Tae, go ahead, introduce yourself, and then go ahead and tell us about what you do with Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and then we'll go from there.
Excellent. Well, first off, let me just say what an honor it is to be the first ever guest on this series. I'm just thrilled to be, and just happy to be here to talk to you today about the annual Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence. My name is Tae Kang. I'm the program manager with Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. I've been with the organization since back in 2016 when we started our work and our mission to advance excellence in skilled trades education in U.S. public high schools. And I've had the great honor and fortune of working on this annual prize since we launched it back in 2017. But yeah, happy to be here today. Happy to talk to you and the interested teachers out there about the application and the process and what they can do to be a prize winner like yourself, Matt.
Yeah. So for me, as soon as you guys launched the applications, and then I did like a little video on my social media just because I'm all about, as much as you guys have supported me, I want to do as much as I can to support you guys as well.
Thank you. It's much appreciated.
And, just get connected with more trades teachers, which is part of what this is all about, of course. I guess talk about real quick how much money you guys giving away? What's the prize? What's this prize all about? Give us the whole introduction rundown of, how it started. What's this whole thing that we're talking about?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So I'll just start with, again, Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, we're a program of the Smith Foundation, right, which is the private family foundation of Eric Smith, the owner and founder of Harbor Freight Tools. Eric has a great passion and dedication and admiration for the intelligence and creativity of people who work with their hands and with tools. And, back like a decade ago, we launched Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and we were like, what should we do? What are some ideas we can impact the sector? What can we do to impact and support teachers directly, right? Especially in U.S. public high schools across the country, right? We're like, how can we uplift and show that skilled trades and skilled trades education are incredibly vital for our country, right? And for communities across across all 50 states, right? So we decided, after a lot of discussion, to launch the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence, right? This is the 10th year of the prize, and we are really happy and thankful and excited to announce that this year we'll be awarding a total of $2 million, right? $2 million to 25 outstanding public high school skilled trades teachers across the country. And this is an increase from last year, or the past few years, where it's been 1.5 million. Back in 2017, when we launched, we originally awarded 500,000 or 510,000 to be specific to 10 winners. But over the years, we've seen such excitement and enthusiasm and growth from this prize, right? And this year, again, we're excited to give away a total of $2 million.
That's so awesome. And 10 years, it's so crazy.
It is crazy.
I was a winner in 2022, and
which is like a lifetime ago at this point.
Yeah,
right?
It seems like forever ago. It's just, it's amazing. The people I'll speak a little bit on my side of things of what the award was for me. One thing you didn't really mention, if your school, state, district rules apply, you get 15% of that, no, 30% of that, either $100,000 prize or the $50,000 prize. I was a $50,000 prize winner. So a personal check of $15,000 came to me, and that's pretty cool as a teacher, period. Doesn't matter what you're teaching, right? Or just a human being. How awesome is that
You
that you guys,
$50,000 right now, that'd be great.
yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's such a cool thing. And then the network that I've gotten tied into, like I said, it's been, 4 years ago now. By the time the next one gets handed out, that'll be, our 2026 winners and stuff. And it's just that it's kind of mind blowing that the award exists.
Yeah. It's been, really joyful, right? To just see how the prize has grown, but how this network of teachers has grown, right? So just FYI for people out there, right? This $2 million, how it's broken up, right? This year we'll be having, again, 5 grand prize winners who will each receive $100,000, with $70K going to their program and $30K going to themselves as an individual. But this year, right, because it's the 10th year and now we're awarding $2 million, we're awarding the 20 prize winners $75,000 each. So $50K will go to their program and $25K will go to themselves. So we hope that this, increase incentivizes more people to apply. We hope that it does, and it encourages people, especially past applicants who've, been a finalist or not. We want people to feel motivated, encouraged to apply. And we hope that this increase of funds does that. But, we're ultimately trying to really support students and teachers, right, by allowing them to have the funds to purchase what they need or use it to in whatever strategies or ways they feel they can improve and uplift their program. But that individual money as well, we hope that it helps you help pay down your mortgage or help pay for your kids' college tuition, or go on a trip, the much deserved vacation, whichever you want to spend it on. We hope that it's of benefit for you. But also, the funds for the program do not have to be used at Harbor Freight, right? Like, we wanted to use it however you think it's the benefit of your program, however you so wish.
Yeah, and that's what's great about that. It's all for the program. It's all pretty much your school can't touch it. It's given to you. It has to go to you. It has to go to your program. Professional development opportunities, whatever it may be, it is for your program and betterment of your program. And
Absolutely.
the school has to let you have that, right? Like, it
can't go towards English books or football.
No general funds.
Yeah, right. And while those are important things, we want to make sure that the teacher who's being awarded and spotlighted gets to use it for their program.
Exactly. All right. So hopefully people are already excited about that. Bumping it up to 50,000, up to 75,000. That's so awesome. So let's get into kind of what this is even more about, right? Like, how, as soon as, like I said, the application opens, I get, hey, I'm applying. What should I do? How should I answer? What are they looking for? Blah, blah, blah. First things first, you kind of touched on it. If you have already applied before and didn't win, apply again. It took me 3 tries. First try, I applied and didn't get, win. I wasn't a finalist. Second try, I became a finalist. And then third try, the home run was hit, so keep on applying. And I think the story for most people is multiple, we do have first time winners. Absolutely. First time applicants.
Yeah. Yes.
But most of the stories are a 2 to 3, maybe even 4 times application for sure. Especially now because the numbers are getting bigger, right, Tae?
Exactly. Right. Last year, for example, we received 1,001 submissions from, all across the country. There's so many great teachers out there. There's so many great stories out there. All right. We're looking to highlight and spotlight, the 25 that really stood out, right, that year. But also, we're looking for teachers with, passion, with creativity, with leadership, who make an impact in their local communities, who are looking to make impacts, in a broader, sense across different states or across the country or even the world, right? We've had teachers do community projects that have impacted, amputees in Latin America, and we've had them work together on different items that can come together to create, prosthetic legs. Where we've had, teachers who just showcase how much they love teaching the trades by like talking about their student stories and how they've changed their students' lives, or they've helped grow their program from like 10 students to having a waiting list, right? We're looking for teachers who really have that passion for teaching the trades and are able to communicate that clearly and effectively. And we think the application, right, is a good tool for you as a teacher, right, to use to talk to other people to promote your program, or go to your district and use it as like a letter or a speech, or we feel that there's a lot of components that the application has that can be used for other things and other strategies in recruiting and promotion and marketing and partnership development. But we also are looking for teachers who are not resting on their laurels, who are looking to be future innovators as well, right? Like who are able to like engage with other ideas and best practices and figure out ways they can implement them into their own programs so they can continue to grow them, right? So ultimately, we're looking for just teachers with strong evidence of past teaching success and quality, but also are looking to grow and improve their teaching and their programs as well.
So yeah, so now you kind of know what Harbor Freight is looking, Tool Schools is looking for as far as you're filling out your application. So as we kind of get into the nitty gritty of answering the questions, is it still 2,000 characters, right, to answer? So
that's correct. So it is a very rigorous written application. Each question, is meant to figure out like a different aspect of you and your program and your teaching. The written questions all have a 2,000 character count. We tell teachers and encourage them to maximize that as much as possible. I always like to say, like, anyone can say like, oh, I love my students, or here are the 5 projects we do, but like, tell us about those, paint a picture with your words, talk about it, and do your best to maximize it. But on the other end, we know that there's some teachers who are very talkative and write a lot, right? But so it's like, how do you condense that and summarize that in a clear and effective way that judges will be able to understand and appreciate very much?
Yeah, and so kind of as we get into this, as you guys are filling out your applications, you got 2,000 characters. Now, my advice, and I think most teachers do this. I'm not calling it common sense, but it makes sense, right? Pull up your whatever you use, Microsoft, Google Doc, whatever. Copy your question, fill out your answer, do the word count, revise on that on your word processing software, and then bring it over, copy paste it into the application website, right? So
yeah, I think that's a great piece of advice.
Yeah, and I think most people kind of do that automatic as soon as they start typing, like, oh wait, this is easier to fix over here because that's where you're going to take care of your spelling, things like that. And I think, and the other thing too is, as you apply for this, if you're not a first-time winner, the questions, especially the basic about yourself, stay very similar from year to year, maybe the same, the minor tweaks. So you're able to build off of that the next years that you apply if you don't win, your first try. So that is definitely advice we give everybody. Anytime you're filling that out, work on that, do the word count. I graduated in 1999, so I was always pumped when it hit 1999 characters. Like, yeah, as close as you get to 2,000.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Right.
Love
right.
It. Love it.
So, that's probably the toughest part about the application. And here's the other thing too. You're telling about, you guys want to hear about us,
Yes.
what we do, not, us as a person, us as a teacher, and us as our programs. And obviously what we've done, our future, highlighting. You have to get, if you're very uncomfortable about bragging about yourself, put that aside, brag all day long. This is your chance, right, Tae?
Yes.
For you as a teacher to, you're the best. Why are you're the best? And you tell these guys why you're the best and your program's the best, right?
Exactly, right? And again, there's last year 1,001 applications. how are you going to stand out, right? It's not going to be by being humble about your program, right? Like you want to talk about all the amazing things that you're doing, and one thing I do encourage people is after you write your first draft, have someone else read it over, right? And someone you trust, whether that's a spouse or a partner or your English teacher or your administrator, whoever it may be, have them, or CT director, have them read it over and be like, hey, you forgot to talk about this project. Or remember that student, talk about like how you change them. Or that's a better story. Or you know what? This part was a little unclear. Like, or you kind of go off on tangents here. How can you focus this? So I think having someone read it, in a separate document like you recommend, I think makes a lot of sense. And I do want to note that applications opened right a month ago, like on March 3rd, right? And the deadline is May 1st. And what I would like to say is, like, I encourage people to start their application today. Try your best not to start it a day or two or the last day when it's due. But at the same time, you don't have to submit it right now, right? You can take some time with it. You can wait until April 30th or May 1st, right? Like you have some time to work on the application. We encourage people to do so. You don't have to submit it right away. Take some time, reflect, have other people brag about you, and then figure out how to incorporate that. Those are some things. But I do also want to note some changes that we made in the application this year,
Yes.
if that works for you, Matt.
Yes. Yes,
So,
please.
one is that, we want people to talk more about their specific program, right? Like we ask very kind of individualized and specific questions, like tell us about a specific metric or statistic that matters to you, right? Or, tell us about, a student or a challenge that you experience, right? We want to hear as much human authentic storytelling as possible that isn't just generated by the latest technology, right? Or I think that we want to hear about what you as a human are doing and doing effectively. But we're also want to share that this year, for the first time ever, after a lot of calls for it, is that we are adding a video submission question for round one. All right. And the question is about, what do you love about teaching the trades? How do you show your passion for teaching the trades? So we're asking everyone just to get in front of camera, much like yourself, and
Yeah.
just talk about why you love the trades. And I think, we're not asking people to be like Steven Spielberg or Christopher Nolan or, an Academy Award director, right? Or all we're asking people is like to get in front of camera and talk about what they love of the trades with enthusiasm and passion. And everyone out there who's listening to this, if you want to go see Matt's videos and see how he does it, highly recommend that you do that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. You know what? Those are always fun to do. And when you're doing the videos, I'm at the point where I've gotten comfortable with it. I've done enough social media stuff now that it's becoming more natural. I'll say more
Exactly.
natural.
Yeah.
But when those videos, whether you're filming it yourself, so nobody else is in the room with you, if that makes you more comfortable, or it's you're I've had literally my daughters hold the phone and record at the very beginning when I start doing social media, or your spouse, whatever's going to make you feel comfortable, and just be yourself, just like you're
Yes.
talking in front of your students, right? Let
Yeah.
that all come out. Don't when they say they're not judging on video quality and presentation, they're not. They want the content, right? You guys are looking for what's happening, and it's just a good way to, especially that used to be something that happened in the second round. Now
Yes.
is in the first round. I had heard that from another teacher, and I think it's actually great because you got two things working for you in your favor, right? One, if you're not great in front of the camera, you got the whole application that you can work on that behind the camera. Two, if
Exactly.
you're not the best on the paper side, right, the application side, well, maybe that video was that little extra, oh, all right, I can see it in this person, right? So,
Exactly.
use both styles to your advantage. I think that's great in the first round now because, like I said, we did that in the second round. At least I know whenever I won. And that was a lot of fun I was like, finally, I can really show what I'm trying to talk about. Because sometimes you just, did I get it across on paper or not? So
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
advantage of it. And I think that's great. I think but for people applying, don't stress about it, right? Like,
Yeah, right. And I think I love that idea of having someone you trust, who'll bring out the best in you to film it with you, right? Like whether that's your students or the Gen Z, they're really good at making content. They
yeah.
might have some suggestions or ideas, right? Or maybe if you have kids, then your kids might be able to help, or your spouse, or but yeah, do what's comfortable for you. There are studies out there that some of the best performers or best movie stars are actually all really introverted, right? That
Mhm.
they like, being more reserved, but put a camera in front of them, they shine. And a lot of teachers, I think, are like that too. So showcase your love and your enthusiasm as best as you can. All right, but it's also about, as you mentioned, the content. Like, what are you saying on camera that is unique and different about and helps you stand out from all the other teachers out there?
Yeah. And so the last few things we'll touch on real fast. Has anything really changed? I mean, talking to you and what we've talked about in the past, sounds like what you guys are looking for, especially in this first round, has really stayed kind of true. Is there anything that's kind of changed that you're looking for, or that people really need to, what if, I guess there's the one thing that everyone's got to step up on now that there's just applications of, I think when I applied, I think we're still under 1,000. Now we're, or maybe right at 1,000. Now it's well over 1,000. Is there, it's getting more competitive for sure. The
It is
word's
getting
out.
more. Yes,
It's 10
absolutely.
years now. Is there that one last little tidbit or something that that you'd give real quick? And before we talk about one
Yeah,
more thing?
yeah, I would say, again, the video submission question is new, right? We have some tweaks and questions. So, I would suggest people, especially if you applied before, to read those specifically. So you're not just, copying and pasting what you've done before, but are continue to reflect on your teaching. But this year's learning module is different than past years, right? And I would say the application, right, is again mostly about your teaching background and what you do each and every day, right? But it's also, we're looking for teachers who are able to reflect and think about and engage with a learning module video, right, on a different topic. Last year's topic was about implementing AI in your skill trades classroom. We've done learning modules about, you know, classroom management. All right. We talked about recruiting middle school students, right? We've talked a lot of different topics. And what we've done this year is since this is the 10th year of the prize, is a best of, right? That it's we got some of the ideas that were been really popular over the years and kind of edited and mashed them together. All right. And they're all around this year, round one. This year's round one video is about like classroom management and culture and your programming and curriculum. So we've got some of the best ideas from there, put them together. And what we suggest is when you watch it through is think about what idea really stands out to me, what are the ideas that really stand out to me that I want to develop further into my program, right? And actually practically talk through steps on what the process would be and the potential outcomes, right? And I think because it's easy to be just like, oh, I already do this, or yeah, this is something I considered, or you know what, this wasn't really engaging. We're not looking for that. We're looking for people who are like, this idea really stood out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it this way, and here the step-by-step process, and here's what I expect will happen, right? So I think hopefully having this kind of learning module with a bunch of different diverse ideas will be helpful for applicants. I do also want to note, right, that I get this question all the time about judging, right? And judges, we hire and we outsource the judging externally, right? We get leaders in nonprofits, in other foundations, in industry. We get previous prize winners. We get administrators. It's a wide mix of outside people who review and score these applications. And what our judges have shown is and have seen is that more specific, again, that you can talk about the prize about like specific numbers and data and stories that stand out, that those are the ones who really will be amongst the top 50 or the 25 winners ultimately.
Yeah, I love it. And the one thing I'll say is I have helped judge in a second round after winning. One of the things I remember looking for as I read through in the applications and watch the videos, was, man, I want to sit next to this person and ask them questions, right? Like I said, put it out there. Let us know every cool thing you're doing. I know you only got 2,000 characters, and writing a term paper in college, 10 pages seems so easy compared to trying to get everything down to 2,000 characters. But we want the best of what you got, right? That's what you guys are looking for. And then a final little touch. Our next episode is going to be AI and how to use this. Now, we know AI is obviously a thing, part of things that you guys ask question, how to implement AI into it. Now, as far as using AI on the application, we won't go deep in it with you, Tae, because Jordan's going to do that next. I
leave it to I trust him. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and so pretty much when it comes to AI, you guys want to make sure you see or don't see when you're using AI.
Yeah, so I think what I want to be clear, right, is that there's no regulation against using AI for our application process. We don't include that in the rules, or there's no, again, policy or regulation against it. But what I do want to say is that AI is great for a variety of reasons, creating funny content or funny video, expressing your creativity. But we find that in terms of writing, oftentimes what it does is it averages everything out, right? And it makes things very general and generalized, so much to the point where people can kind of tell when it's been AI generated. But what we find, and what our judges have found that stood out, are the really people who authentically speak in their own voice, right? That can share in their own stories, right, with their own humanity. And I think I would encourage people, especially when they start or when they work through their draft, is how can I be as personal and human as I can be when writing this? And I don't want to lose track of, and we don't want to lose track of that when supporting our teachers, right? Because ultimately, what you all do each and every day is so impressive. And just waking up in the morning and to teach the next generation these important skills, I think we want to award that humanity and lift that up for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, next episode on this is going to be with Jordan, a fellow Illinois winner. He's north of me, up near Chicago. I'm very excited to have him on. He used AI in a very proper way, and it's like Tae said, it still falls very heavily on you. Like, don't let the AI doesn't know you yet, right? It can't do this for you. It does not know you, but you can use it to improve things, and we'll let Jordan talk about that in the next episode. But just because I know that's going to come up, so I wanted you to kind of address that as your side, from the actual Harbor Freight Tools for Schools side of, you can use it, but it can hurt you if so. You have to do it right, and so we're going to kind of tackle that issue on the next one and stuff. So, well, Tae, we want to keep this about a half an hour. I think we're coming in right about where we should be. I think we covered a lot of questions that I get asked.
Thank you.
A lot of advice we've given in the past, and kind of how that's changed and shaped over the last 10 years now. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
It is crazy.
And we'll do an episode on Let's Build It, but Tae will agree the prize is the hook. The real stuff starts happening once we get to Let's Build It, but we'll leave Let's Build It for another episode down the road. Maybe I'll get some of the crew together, and I'm sure Tae, you know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about the crew. Get them on there and let them talk about Let's Build It, who always make that fun time. And it's got to be its own episode. There's too much to talk about with Let's Build It.
And I couldn't say it better than myself. And I think I'm a big believer that sometimes the sequel is better than the original. So yeah, Let's Build It. Talking about that will be a really fun sequel, hopefully, for this, and you'll meet some very unique and interesting personalities there for sure. But yes. I do want to note that, again, the deadline for applications is Friday, May 1st at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Right. Again, Friday, May 1st, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, right, for those of you in Illinois like Matt. But yeah, just start your application today and take your time. and work on it until that May 1st deadline.
Tae, thank you so much. Anybody that's watching this first episode on my YouTube channel, Build, Learn, Teach, very exciting. I couldn't been happier to have like the first topic to talk about, the launch the channel, whatever this channel becomes in the future. But today I'm very pumped this is. Tae, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor, and we made history. This is awesome.
Yes.